In this video, let's talk about guide curve influence. Let's take a look at Loft 6 that we just created and take a look at what we can do to add more influence to our guide curves. Just like with start end constraints with your profiles, you have the option to add some influence to your guide curves. Now, the influence is going to be limited based on the profiles and guides that you're using. For instance, this profile that's going through the middle of our guide curve is going to override a lot of the influence that we can add. So let's go ahead and remove, in this case, Open Group 2. So we're just using our start profile and our end profile. Let's take a look at Open Group 6 and the drop-down box below it for the type. We can add a direction vector reference. In this case, let's add the right plane. So you'll note that when we add the right plane as a direction vector, it's going to add some influence to the guide curve. Basically, what we're adding is influence to how the surface enters and exits that guide curve. Now, because this guide curve is in 3D, it's going to be limiting to the amount of influence it's going to add. For instance, if we go ahead and change this to 20 degrees, we take a look at the influence change in the surface. It's very minimal. We change the direction. You can see that we're adding a little bit of extra curvature because we're now entering and exiting at 20 degrees as opposed to normal to the plane we selected. The reason this is limiting is because the guide curves and profiles are going to override a lot of that curvature. You're not going to be able to really influence the curvature in these corners, only in the middle. Note that we have an option at the top, to next guide, to next sharp, to next edge, and global. If we change it to a global influence, you can see it has a much larger change on the surface because we're changing how the curvature is changed over the entire surface globally. So it's important to note that you have these options at your disposal, but they're only going to be limiting to the amount of curvature that they're going to add. It's very important that you use the minimum number of profiles and guide curves to attain your surfaces, and only use these to make small tweaks to the surfaces once they've been created.